what's up y'all? Welcome back to episode 35 of From Bedrock to Java. In today's episode, I don't exactly know what I'm going to do, but I feel like today is going to be a pretty special episode. Since this episode is the 35th episode of the series, I figure, you know what, why not do a mini world tour up to this point? What better way than to do it today? I just figure today would be a pretty fun day to do it. Of course, I'm going to do a couple of things before I get into the world tour, but once I do, I think the world tour should be pretty fun. Hopefully y'all stick around so we can get around to the history of this world that I probably don't remember most of, but will enjoy talking about because I like talking about my world a lot, you know? It's fun. It's my world. I created it. Let's get into the episode. What to do first? Where to build this flower farm, because I need some flowers. If I were a flower farm, I think it'd be like this tall for no reason, because it does not need to be this tall at all. I think that works. That looks pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. So we have 4 different types of flowers. We have sunflowers, lilacs, rose bushes, and peonies. Peonies?
Peony.
Something. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blocks wide, which means 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Let's see. Dang! Oh, this thing is moving fast. All right, let's go ahead and get started with this world tour. So the first thing we're going to be showing off, of course, is spawn, which has not changed all that much besides the fact that I made it quite messy and I tore down a ton of trees. I think that I have, was it this? This might have been the original mining shaft that I dug out. Nothing special about that, of course. And yeah, honestly, we can move on from here now. This is spawn. It looks terrible. There's even a shulker right over there. So next up on the list of things that we're going to look at in this episode is my starter base. That's right. This is the starter base that I ended up working on like the first couple episodes and then really struggled with because of the sheer size of it and the materials I needed. I needed to go on a couple day gathering spree of just materials, and I honestly really love the starter base. It's one of my favorite I've ever built, and I'm just really happy with the way it turned out. The coloring is amazing, the shape, I really love it, and on top of that, it has an interior. And I sometimes don't do a lot of interiors, so let's go ahead and check that out real quick. So here we have our little like living room section of the house with a, I don't even know what you call this, like a, I forgot to build an armor stand. It's like an entry hallway into a dining room with a kitchen over here, and there's even a back door, which I always love to have. Of course, there's a bathroom, because why not? One of my favorite features about this house is the fact that I have a lot of skylights like this, because I just like being able to see the outside world quite frequently while I'm inside the house, because then it's less depressing. On top of that, I like having a lot of entrances on my buildings because, you know, it's nice to be able to get around the house and get to different parts of the house without needing to go through a single door, because one single door, you only get to see certain parts of the house, so with multiple doors, you can see a lot more. This is where I actually slept, I think 90% of the time in this world. It's just the most convenient bed I have in this base. There's also this bed, but I think that's Tommy's. Yeah, I think we still have a lot of his heads. Yep, okay. He has a ton of his heads there, and I'm just laying down there. Don't mind that. Here's the original enchantment setup where I just stuck it in a tower, and I think it's actually one of my favorite spots for one. And within this enchantment room, there's also a brewing room right over here where we had some funny moments, and I actually rarely ever used this room. I had it, but I never really had to brew potions, so it didn't really matter. This is my chest room, and as you can tell, I have moved everything, but it was too small for me. So that's why I had to move to another base. This is actually one of the doors I used most frequently on this base, purely for the fact that it led directly into the chest room. Same thing with this door right over here. Basically, I just liked fast ways to get into my chest room. It's nice. For a bedroom, I think I only slept here maybe 3 times. This is something that I actually built just before I left this room and went up to a new storage room up in my mega base, and I never used it. Basically, I ran out of storage space, so I decided, let's build this. Let's put another enchantment setup right over here too. And it just never got used. So we just have a room full of chests and chickens for no apparent reason. Oh, well, there's a new chicken. Well, that's great. Let's go ahead and head downstairs to see the last part of the starter base. The basement. This is where I did a lot of my villager breeding and whatnot, because it just made it easier to make a villager breeder just right here. I spent quite a lot of time here, and I think it was well worth it. There was even a sugarcane farm here at some point, bee farm over here. I forgot I even had this farm right over here. If I ever need basalt, I know where to go. I think over here I have a ton of pillagers. Correct. They are all debowed and ready to go. They're also really loud. This is where I had my original cow farm, which apparently still has leather. Wow. Good to know. I'm gonna come back for that. I'm always running out of materials because wait. Huh. Here's my to-do list. I found it. More you know. Okay. Thinking about the second thing I built on this world, it is this blacksmith. This blacksmith was something I built because I wanted to build myself a moss farm because I needed a lot of bone meal. Bone meal is a very important aspect to a lot of farms, and moss farms are one of the best ways to get bone meal. So I ended up building this entire thing right here, which I actually really love. I love the shape of this thing even more than my starter base at some points. And I love the fact that I was able to stick a tree on top with a windmill. Everything about it is so aesthetic. One thing that I'm realizing now that I'm looking at it is that this tree right here does not make sense. If this windmill was ever to turn, this tree would be destroyed. And of course, I never finished the back of this base because I was too lazy, and I'm just kind of happy with where it was at the front. I also never really did an interior because, you know, I kind of got lazy. Down here is meant to be a bar, but I just never got into it. And it just never happened. One thing I did want to focus on for this build specifically was a lot of archways, because I figure having a lot of paths around this building would just make it really accessible and just really cool. So I decided to stick a pathway through the building itself, just so you can get from side to side. Some kind of bridge like this, where there's an entryway up to a staircase and another entryway over here to, I don't know, somewhere, which was originally going to be like a dock or something, but I just haven't gotten around to doing that, so I don't know when that's going to happen. But considering this pathway up here, this led up to where the blacksmith was going to be. Basically, I was gonna have like some kind of blacksmith area here to just look out the window, and then in through these doors would be the area that I kept my I cleaned it out, my bone meal supply and my moss stuff, and then I even had a super smelter back here for just small ingredients and whatnot with azalea bushes, so I could just smelt them up. Again, just never used this thing. It was a cool idea, but just never got to using it. I'm probably gonna build another moss farm at some point closer to my mega base, but I do really like where this one is. I feel like this building just fits the area so well. Here's the new bee farm. Love it. It does what it needs to do. It gets me honey and yeah, bees. We like bees. It's getting dark out here. You know what? Let me go to one of my original beds. Right over here. Up, up. I love that I haven't moved this bed. This bed's been here forever. All right. The third thing in this world is Tommy's house. Basically, Tommy ended up joining the world at some point. Oh god, my glass is gone. Whoops, I need to fix that at some point. I didn't realize the glass went missing. Basically, I added a mod that allowed me to have connecting glass by crafting it, and I wasn't able to find it for this version, so it's just gone. It no longer exists here, so don't worry about it. But yeah, this is Tommy's house. He joined the world at some point, and I decided to build him a house so he can store some goods inside of it if he ever wanted to, which I don't think he has put too much stuff inside, but it's fine. This house was really fun to build. I absolutely loved it. I got to use a fun color palette with like the white, so a brown. Got to include some spruce, some bricks. This is honestly the kind of palette that I wanted for my mega base at some point, but we'll talk about that later. Out front, we even have a turtle, Ronan, pulling a cart, which was meant to represent the wagon that you find in Assassin's Creed, because I'm pretty sure this is something that he would have liked. This would be the leap of faith, and we like that around here. Let's check out the interior real quick. Inside the house, we have ourselves a nice little living room right here with some armor stands and whatnot. I'd say this one is pretty well decorated. Again, I like archways, so I went ahead and incorporated that again. Also made a little bit of a mess right here with literally nothing inside of it. A lot of books that I don't know if Tommy will read, but I don't know, they're there. Even Ollie. Hi there, Ollie. Got a couple of decapitated heads. Wow, that is creepy. Let's look away from that. But yeah, this is the kitchen. Love it. Sink. Knife. That's a pretty big knife, but it's a knife. Furnaces, of course. Oh, there's another head. Dining room. Paintings. Yep. Outside, we even have a nice little area out here where we can actually do like barbecues and whatnot. I think this would be a cool area to just to hang out. I can imagine just having this in a house, being able to look out over the city, barbecue, sit down over here, all under the comfort of your own home. Like, this would honestly be something I'd actually want to see in my own house. This would be kind of cool. Look at that. Oh, having a section of the house just like this, that'd be amazing. Absolutely love it. Head upstairs. This is Tommy's office, because why not? He has to have an office of some sort, right? He can be the man right over here, looking at a person that has to stand because he's got to show that power over them. To go upstairs, we see a very expensive flooring and ceiling made out of smithing tables. Love to see it, but it took a lot of iron. Nice little bed. Oh. Whoop. Man, fine. I forgot that's what it said. Fireplace. because why not? Sure, it's a little bit of a fire hazard. Sure, no one can get to it, and it's fine. But this is one of my favorite aspects of this house. Follow me. Well, this is a, I guess, sun tanning room where you don't get any sun. So you get such a nice view. Oh, love it. Imagine waking up in the morning just to be able to see this through these kind of windows. Man, this would be dope. On top of that, you get roof access. Sure, it's not very nice, but it's fine.
Bernie, you see it now? You get it? You get it now? You get it? Brendan?
Huh?
Okay, you didn't hear it, did you?
No.
I walked up to you and I was this close, and then I gave you a little sneak.
What? Wait a minute. I didn't consent.
Yes, you did.
I did? Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Bren's like, oh, okay.
Alright. For the third thing I want to show in today's... Does it really have to be raining? I guess that's fair. I did build this thing while it was raining, I think. But, yeah. This is a... Wait a minute, what is this? I don't know what this would be, but this thing has my smelting system in it with about 64 different furnaces that can auto-smelt all at once. And I still need to work on a way to get fuel because I don't have it. It's a bit of a problem, I'm not gonna lie. And I really love this one as well. I decided to build this one after watching a B-Dubs episode, and I was just so inspired to build an auto smelter that I built this. And this is something I don't really want to talk about, but this building was never finished. It is a really big facade, and there's a chicken in a boat with a zombie villager? Fair enough, you do you, chicken. Right after building this warehouse type building, I ended up wanting to do a little bit of training. So that led me to building up this beach. I am really happy with the beach, which is currently raining, and it's kind of sad to be at a beach for, but I love this palm tree. I built one palm tree right here, and it just looks so good, except I need to build a couple more, otherwise it's just a singular palm tree on a so-called beach. I did add a couple of these things here so that we can like lay down and get some nice tans going if we actually had sun rather than the rain, because the rain decided to be evil and do this. Darn you, rain. Let's see if I can go to sleep to get rid of this rain, because it's a bit of a pain. I can. Let's go. Okay, so I've flown past this a couple of times and I haven't really talked about it yet, but this is my mob farm. It's where I keep a lot of like my gunpowder, my where are they? Sacks, string, etc., etc., whatever I get from my farm. Down below here, we have a massive area that has been dug out. Thank you, Tommy, for digging out such a big area while I built your house. But this is the mob farm. It's where the magic happens. There are 4 mob farms that are in here, which will basically let me spawn mobs whenever I'm AFK at my platform right up there. That one right there. And when I'm up there, mobs will spawn here and, you know, fall off the edge, fall into the fire, etc., etc., burn, their stuff flies up, and I receive it up here. Pretty cool, see? Look at that. Okay, now we're gonna get a little bit out of order when it comes down to when I'm building things, because I don't want to get to my mega base just yet, so I'm gonna get to the stuff that's surrounding it before I even get to that, because that's gonna take quite a bit of time to explore and really understand. So basically, this season of Hermitcraft, I've been watching a lot of Grian, who has been building a lot of wheat fields. And the wheat fields just look so amazing. So I wanted to try building one just in this general area and maybe expand it at some point, because wheat's just like a nice filler color, which fills up the area and makes it, I don't know, have some kind of character. Because this area right over here is just completely green. Having a little bit of yellow is nice. Right over here was one of the most recent projects that I worked on, which was a heron. I built this up in my Build With Me series, and I decided to port it into my world. And I'm gonna continue, I guess, terraforming the area to make it fit in better. And I'm gonna eventually build more herons with different positions and whatnot around this world. And I just really love the way it looks. Having the heron be bigger than life makes it, I don't know, almost godly. And that aspect is just really cool. I love this thing. These lily pads are also a really big plus. I love those. Let's move on over to the winter area. I built this up during, let's see, winter 2024. And this is meant to be for my Christmas special. Right over here is something that Tommy built up, which was a nice little barn for our reindeer, which are actually camel. Because, you know, camels are the closest thing to reindeer we have in this game, besides, you know, horses, donkeys, mules. Camels are cooler, though. Imagine a flying camel. That'd be pretty fun. Oh, no one's cleaned up here in quite a long time. Huh. At least we have camels. Huh. Yeah, so I got a lot of materials to build up this area, but I just haven't had the urge to build this area up yet. And, it might not be till next winter that I get back to this, to be honest. I love this thing, but it is a big pain to terraform. There's also some mini games that I wanted to build, but just haven't gotten to, maybe at some point. But some of the biggest features include this tree right here for Christmas. I do not like it, to be honest. I'm probably going to rebuild it at some point next year. Or next Christmas, I should say. And we do have ourselves Santa Claus house. I do actually really like this building. This might be one of my favorite builds, purely for just how asymmetrical it is. Something about it just feels really cool. Like, from this angle right here, oh, gotta love this shape of house. I know I've been doing like this circular section of a build so many times in several other builds, but it just feels cool. It's nice and cozy too. Haha. Do I have anything in these chests? No. Got presents hidden around here. Nice little kitchen. Ah, yes. Heading upstairs, we have ourselves Santa Claus's office. Nice little dining, or not dining room. Living room. We got a nice little window. What else can I say about this area? Oh, right. All right. Up here we have ourselves Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus's bedroom. Nice. Might be a little rough to get up just by a ladder, but it's fine. They can find a way. They're magic. Here's the dining room. Haha. We also have a nice little, what do you even call this? Counter-side seating. Pretty cool. I wanted to play some games with my friends over the holiday break, and I built up this factory that the elves work in, and down below it holds the minigame. Hut 2, hut 2, hut 2. So I designed this entire area to look very industrial, and I think I did the job quite well. This feels like it would be industrial. Okay, but down here we have ourselves the actual minigame. These are the lockers that we had, and this was the minigame that we played. The basic premise of this is that it is drip leaf spleef. You're gonna run around this area, and at certain intervals of the game, a random number will be picked and a number of snowballs will be dropped around the arena. You can run around, pick up the snowballs, launch them at your friends, like mainly at the drip leaf. Last one standing at the top wins. That was the basic premise of the game. Took me 10-20 hours, man. Still a fun game to play. Absolutely loved it. And here's our friend who didn't make it, but was here in spirit. Thank you, Jazz.
Doing there.
Sometimes you look at a person and you wonder what's going on inside their head.
The f***'s going on up there? How did Chris even get up there?
Huh.
Don't question me.
We take our eyes off of Chris for 2 seconds.
I don't even remember Chris being up there.
Exactly. Last I remember, Chris was on that grass over there.
Huh. Okay.
Okay, let's go make the concrete.
On top of that, it was so cinematic with the moon rising behind Chris.
True.
One of my favorite builds in this world is this flying ship up here. I wanted to host my nether portal up in the sky purely because of the fact that the nether is currently on top of the nether roof. So that means I have to have my nether portal really high up if I want to have another nether portal down below, which leads me into the actual nether. So this led to the creation of this flying ship. This flying ship right here creates a lot of the lore for this world, with it being one of the specialties that my city creates. And I'm just really happy with the shape of this thing. It looks so cool. Love the colors, everything about it is just amazing. To the mega base. Starter base right here, I knew there was going to be a path which went through this archway right here and up to a larger area. I didn't know exactly what was going to be up here, but I knew something was going to be up here. And in the end, I decided this is where my mega base was going to sit. Directly on top of this mountain. Well, there was a mountain, until I put a castle on top of it. Now it looks like the entire area is pretty flat, and the castle has just taken over. But this is the first part of the mega base that I built. This section right here. I wanted to build up a villager trading hall, because villager trading halls are just essential pretty much for a lot of Let's Play series if they want to get a lot of materials fast and quick and just in a large quantity. And I think I did a really good job building up this entire trading hall. It just feels really epic, and I actually really enjoy being in here. It has such a nice vibe to it, and I don't know. I think this might be one of my favorite builds as well. It's probably the best trading hall I've ever built. Most of them I've built were like in a 5x5 hole, so it's fine. We even have a lot of auto brewers right here, which only 2 of them really work. Or 3 of them. Yeah, infestation. I really love the look of the staircase with like these pillars and archways and whatnot. And I don't know. Something about this just feels epic. I love having this kind of thing. I forgot to clean up the pale oak stuff. That's fine, it's fine. But from up here, you get such a nice view of the area. It's such a high altitude, it's amazing. From up here, you can see every single building I have, which I haven't built that many. I'll build more at some point, okay? Just give me some time. This world's going to be here for quite a long time. Hopefully, as long as it doesn't get corrupted, I don't lose it, or nothing bad happens to me. Yeah, this world should continue. The main path that I use actually goes up here towards this section up here, where I accidentally created this magic illusion. Look at that! I can make the tree smaller. The tree gets bigger, and then it gets smaller. It gets bigger, and then it gets smaller. But no, the main reason I built this thing was to get up to my chest room, which is up here. Sorry for the mess, but I'm moving stuff around right now. I'm cleaning up my world, and there just needs to be this mess. Up here we actually have... Wow, what happened to my boat? Up here we actually have where I currently sleep. This is my bed. I don't have a bedroom at all. I have an AFK point, but no bedroom. But let's go ahead and get a quick look of this exterior real quick. Ooh. I love this mega base. Currently the best thing I've ever built. Absolutely love it. We changed out the diorite staircase with this copper, and I love the look of it. It looks so good. The copper just fits in so well along the side of this building. I just want to emphasize the fact that the build style for this entire castle is meant to be a medieval, industrial, Italian. There's going to be a lot of different, I guess, looks that are combined into this one building. I just haven't gotten into building all of the aspects. So right now we just have a lot of stone and whatnot to make it medieval. And eventually we're going to add in the industrial, like steampunk, and the Italian aspects later on once I have more of a shape defined. So now we can go down below. And down below is the library. Look at this. We have lily pads in the floor. We have vines growing everywhere with some bushes, the moss ceiling. Ah, this place, it feels so epic. Especially when you get to look at this thing from up here. Man, if I put down some armor stands and stuff to give this area some life, I think it'll fit perfectly. This is currently where I do all of my enchanting if I ever need to, because, I don't know, it just kind of fits. Having an enchantment table in the library, it makes sense. We can head upwards. Let's see. I'd say the next part of the build we can talk about is over here. So as we go up this path, we can go up into this section of the build, which is completely unfinished. It's just a big bone skeletal structure thing, but we do at least have a sniffer area to farm whatever sniffers drop, like torch flower seeds, pitcher pods, and their sniffer eggs. Look at them. There's so many of them in there. This is the greenhouse pretty much. I love the look. This is kind of what I want the rest of the base to eventually look like, with the amalgamation of the tough, like the grays, the browns, the whites, the greens. I love it. It speaks on like the steampunk. It's got the natural essence of like the moss and the dripstone, and then it's got the medieval look of like the tuff and the diorite and whatnot. We're now in the main section of this castle. I haven't done much with it yet. It's very bare bones. It's just an outline a lot of the time. We did build this flower farm right here, but that's besides the point. This, if we continue adding more stuff like this, I think this build would look really cool. I don't have a lot of time, but we have a lot of time. Basically, I just wanted to say that this episode is starting to run a little bit long, and I don't really have much more to show about this world tour. The last thing I really want to show is my ballroom for right now, because this is something that I enjoyed working on and I'm still currently working on because I'm planning on expanding it further into the mountain. But anyway, what do y'all think about my world so far? Do you enjoy it? Do you think it's really cool? Do you have any ideas for what I should build next? Anyways, as I was saying, this episode is running long, so thank you all for sticking through and watching this entire thing. So thank you all for watching, and of course, have a good one, y'all. I've been feeling